Hi, I'm Alex Palmer, and welcome to another episode of the Blackdog Cast, which this month is brought to you in partnership with Sportful. We've joined forces with Sportful to sell a limited edition Blackdog jersey during the month of November, with all profits going to Movember. Now, Movember do a ton of great work around men's mental health, so check out the link in the show notes and buy the jersey to support them this Movember. So, this month I'm joined by Italian pro cyclist and part-time punk rocker Daniel Oss to talk about his unique approach to pro cycling and finding balance in his life. We chat about his attitude towards the sport and how taking time to just enjoy riding helps him be fully focused when it comes to race time. He also tells us why his great friend Peter Sagan is such a talent, what it was like racing Paris Roubaix for the first time in the wet this season, and what next season holds with a move to French team Total Energy. So Daniel, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You're fitting this in just before you go on holiday, right? You're going on holiday tomorrow.
Exactly. Tomorrow I'm going to fly.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Africa. I don't know if you know Zanzibar. It's an island of Tanzania.
I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
Yeah,
that's not your
quite far.
That's not the typical like off-season holiday destination for a professional cyclist, is it?
No. I mean, I could give you some names that somebody went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Me.
So it's like a secret off-season holiday destination for Italian pro cyclists. Yeah.
Yeah. There you are sure that you can't speak about cycling. You just enjoy chilling and turn off your brain. It's really amazing. I mean, I love it because the people is so happy, so nice, and I really believe in happiness, and there I can find again. I mean, I don't use so much the phone there. I don't use so much, all things that we don't use here. Yeah. So you don't take your bike, right? No bike. How long are you away for? For 10 days. 10 days enough. 10 days.
And then, so when you come back, are you back into training and riding your bike again?
Yeah. This couple of weeks, I just adjust everything. So my bike, my new stuff, like shoes, helmets, new kits and everything I fix before leaving. Mm-hmm. And so when I come back, everything is charged to turn on.
And is that normal to own? Because 10 days off without riding the bike doesn't seem very long to me. Is that normal within the pro peloton that you have such a short break before getting back on your bike and training again?
Yeah. I mean, 10 days is only in Zanzibar, but actually after Roubaix, I just leave the bike there. Yeah. In the cellar, and I just did, in 20 days, I just did maybe 10 riding, but really easy. I did a couple of gym training to feeling again a bit awake, because the long season like this is like only, aerobic and a long training and it's just, some different.
Yeah. How much of that is because, your season is heavily weighted towards the classics at the start of the season, right? Does that mean that you have to kind of start your winter training earlier so that you're firing on all cylinders, full gas in February, March, April? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we start earlier, even with the training. Like November, middle of November, I always start. Yeah. December is already on. We have a couple of training camp, about Christmas apart and last day of year. Mm-hmm. But then, January, we are already on the road in Argentina, for example. For COVID in Australia. So my season always starts in February. Yeah. I need a lot of kilometers already on the legs.
So what does it look like when you come back from holiday and then you get back into training? What does a typical week look like for you?
It's like I really keep it quiet to start. I like to grow and to build up really big base, like the basement of the big house. So I like to ride not so much as before, like 2-3 hours, 4 after 2-3 weeks, and then without any effort, without any nothing, just in the gym. I like to training in the gym to build up some upper part of my body, feeling the legs strong again. And so the aerobic part in the bike, spinning a bit, and then all the muscle stuff in the gym. Yeah, I like to keep this, and then the first training camp we start a longer training and some efforts. Yeah, torque and blah blah blah. Yeah.
So then that first training camp is with a new team this year, right?
Yeah, that's true.
How are you feeling about that? Are you excited? I'm interested to hear how different will it be going to a French team, right? Because you've been on Italian and German teams up to now, and I don't know. Is a French team that different? I imagine they've got a slightly different approach.
I don't know. It is really, really new for me. I mean, I was in the Italian team at the beginning. I was in BMC. It was American, Switzerland, and really international team. Yeah. And then I moved to German, really strict, really German, and now in the French team. But yeah, I expect nothing really crazy. I expect a really family approach, Yeah. Because I always think about French like with a lot of culture for cycling, a lot of passionate, a lot of they really roots passion. They have. So probably like Italian. So I expect this a lot of groups, a lot of a lot of time in together. For sure, cycling now is really professional. So a lot of focusing, a lot of instruction. Yeah. But yeah, I expected that it's quite funny.
But I think there's quite a big group of you moving from Bora to Total Energy, right? There's a sort of crew of you guys around Peter Sagan, so there'll be a lot of familiar faces there, right?
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. We move with Peter, and I will move with Peter and Bodnar. And yeah, we have one mechanic, one senior that we know already. But for the rest, it's pretty new. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really happy because actually I'm always promote the changing. Changing is always nice. It's always something good.
Yeah. Do you, what's happening with your equipment next year? It's Specialized going to the new team as well?
Yeah. We move with also Specialized. We join the team. Sportful, we joined the team.
Oh, okay, so great. So it's not much has changed then.
No, exactly. So, I mean, for the technical part, is pretty the same. Yeah. We're going to change probably, I don't know, the power meter maybe. I mean, the power meter, just the cassette. I don't know if we will have the Wahoo or something else. Okay. But we're going to have also the sunglasses, 100%.
Yeah, does it take much adjustment when a rider moves teams and you have to switch? You have to switch bikes and then other contact points. Like I don't know whether teams, do they tell you which saddle to ride, for example, and can that cause issues when you have to all of a sudden get used to a new equipment brand?
Yeah, of course. I have experience from Liquigas to BMC. Yeah. BMC to Bora. I have an experience that we are like a chef moving in different kitchen. You have your knife, you have your instruments. You have your list of things that you need. So this is my cellar. This is and then of course, if you change something, you're gonna try before a bit. So maybe you're gonna have connecting. You're gonna ask to the new sponsor to have something to try. You're gonna maybe move earlier to the new team to ask to just adjust. Of course, if it's something different, you have to try. Yeah, I'm quite lucky because I really, how you say, I'm really adapt to everything.
Yeah,
I'm adapting really good to new stuff. But I saw that somebody else is really in trouble sometimes because you change the seller, change shoes. Even socks make problems.
I saw when I worked at Slipstream, we had a tricky incident like that at the Tour of California one year, and one of the riders on the team showed up with a Specialized saddle on his bike, and at the time we were riding, Cervelo bikes, and Physique was the saddle sponsor, and we're just like, what are you doing? Like, it's not the way to handle this shit. Like, if you've got an issue with the saddle, you have to come to the team, a couple of weeks before, explain it. There's ways around it, Anyway, so you've been a pro for a while, right? 10 years or so. When did you turn pro?
I turned pro 2009.
What have things changed a lot since 2009?
A lot, of course.
Like how do you think it's changed?
It's changed. Cycling, it was changing a lot during my turn. When I was young, old guys, experienced guys, they were talking to me like one time ago was different. We were, totally the new cycling changing in professional stuff. Everybody's so focused on the small details. 10, 20, 12 years ago was like, okay, you are young, go quiet, maybe take it easy 1 year, not immediately in the Grand Tour. You can do just a couple of classics. Okay, the second year you can do maybe one Grand Tour and stuff. Now, a lot of riders, 21, 22 years old, they are winning Grand Tour and the big classics. So this is the first really big difference. And then during my first 5-6 years, I saw so many riders arrive from some so different part of the world. Not the countries, but from some different. From ski jumper, mountain biking, ski, just decent skiing. So alpine skiing, a lot of connection, and then cycling grow a lot as a fashion. Cycling was fashion, fashion in the last 10 years. So people love cycling in so many different ways, and now we have also so many fans that riding a bike, who likes mountain bike, who likes traveling, who likes making jump, that makes different also in the bunch, because maybe before 90% of the peloton grow with the road bike. Now 10% of the peloton is riding road bike since 7 years old. You know what I mean? I grow as a road cycling 100% from 7 years old. Yeah.
Is that why there's, do you think are there more crashes in the peloton now?
Yeah. And now you can see that young guys are now they are at big level already.
Yeah.
We make a couple of years to grow as a real pro.
Yeah. Does that, you think that puts more pressure on riders early in their career now?
If I have pressure?
No, just nowadays, if let's say if you turn pro now compared to, back in 2009 or whatever.
You have pressure. Yes, you have more pressure, because if you don't show that you can do something special in the first 2-3 years, you are out.
Yeah.
Not out, but maybe you are in the second line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's maybe sometimes it's not the rider's fault. Maybe sometimes it's the managing fault. And then sometimes if you find the amazing stuff around you, you can grow a bit, but that is like this. Everybody have more pressure because everybody have so many races, so many traveling. Now with COVID was so crazy. You have to be really in shape every time because every race was the world championship. And you have to show that you can race. You have to show your training. You have to show your shape. Everything is connected. Everything is online.
Mm-hmm.
This is really stressful at the end because you can be connected everywhere. You can be a machine for a while, but at the end we are not machine. We are human, and we need to be. The word is like this. Everything is running so fast. Everything is changing so fast.
Yeah.
Maybe today you are a sprinter. Tomorrow you are a climber.
We had Peter Stettner is a former teammate of yours, right? You guys were at BMC at the same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I had him on the podcast, and he said exactly the same thing. I guess you guys are probably a similar age, and you probably turned pro around the same time. And he was just talking about the differences in the last couple of years compared to when he turned pro. And back then it was a bit more relaxed. The same thing. The younger riders were given less pressure. They could, ease into it for a couple of years. And then he just said the last couple of years, it totally changed, and the pressure is on, and everybody's looking for the edge all the time. And I think that's one of the reasons why he, left the pro peloton, and now he's a gravel pro here in the US, just because it allows him to less stress. He can kind of build his own program, that sort of stuff. But I guess you've got you seem to have a different way of managing this, and you have an approach to the sport where you prioritize that balance, right? And so, when you're racing, it's full on, but then the rest of the time you like to chill and you like to do some different things, right? You tell us about that. Yeah.
No, well, I love to be professional. I love to grow my shape. I love to be the first part of the peloton, the first line. I have also the amazing leader as Peter Sagan is one of the best riders in the last 10 years. I mean, he did something that somebody else can't imagine. So I love it. I love to racing. I love everything about cycling, but still I love bike. The bike, when I start riding a bike, I told you 6-7 years old, and I was running with my father around the forest with a small mountain bike, sometimes with friends. We call it bocciodromo, where people are playing in the park, small road. And that's what sometimes I miss it. I like taking my time sometimes with some trips. I like to be free, because sometimes really the main stuff and the main pain in the brain is the calendar. You have so many dates, so many hours to follow. In the morning, you have to eat this and do this. In the afternoon, you have to rest 2 hours and then go, because afterwards, if you don't eat before 7, you are not allowed to sleep good, and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But the trip, when I'm riding, even maybe Just Ride.
Yeah, no, I watched a few of your videos. Tell us about that. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, there I found myself.
Yeah,
and I continue. I can say that I was in the bar with my friend after the Giro d'Italia, and I was like, "Man, I'm in Italian we say basta. I'm stopped.
Enough. Yeah,
enough. I have enough. Basta. I have to." But at the same time, I can't stop. I want to ride. What I can do? Yeah, and after the second beer coming up, why we don't ride? Right? Why we don't go from here to that city? That's nice. We go there, we chilling there, we eat, and then we come back. Why we have to come back after dinner? We just go on the next one. And this started in my mind, why not? Why this is the best way of go back a bit, going to the root of my concept of cycling.
Yeah,
that is not like abandon the rest. I love to race, but sometimes, as we are telling, like sometimes it's okay to come back, because we are human and we can't go in this direction forever.
Yeah. So what do you have planned for that this season? Have you got any big trips planned?
No, this season not yet.
Okay.
Because COVID and stuff was not really easier to do that. But next year for sure. Next year I will need it also. Yeah, this year was really, really strange for racing. It was crazy. I did 2 Grand Tours. I did Roubaix as last one classic. I started in this classic, so I was really busy this year.
Yeah,
that's why maybe the next year will be the best just ride ever.
Yeah, does the season? Hopefully, the season gets a bit more back to normal next year with races being in their normal place in the calendar, right?
Yeah, that's also was not the first year without any problem with COVID. Was the year of transition, I want to say, because it was not even easy for. We did so many tested every race. We did so many traveling by car, by plane. It was stress also for that, but even for everybody, even for who is working and for other sports, I guess. So nothing, was just busy. Yeah.
Well, look, you mentioned Roubaix this year. Tell us about that, because from a fan's perspective, I think almost all cycling fans woke up that day and they were so happy that it was raining, right? Because it's been 23 years, I think 2008 was the last time there was a wet Roubaix. So there's a whole generation of riders like you. Yeah. You've been a pro for 10 years and you've never had to do a wet Roubaix. Like
even Gilbert was probably the oldest one in the peloton. 2002 didn't mention any raining Roubaix.
Yeah.
So it was everybody didn't know what we can expect. And the day before, I can mention your happiness about the raining. we were the day before, the women were riding, and we were watching with the same passion that you felt in Sunday. We were laughing, but in the same time we were crying, and the same times we were wow, and was crazy. Was something at the beginning, at the start, I was like, how I can dress? What? How? It gonna dry soon? I gonna wet for? I don't know. I was completely. Everybody was blind.
Yeah.
Because even I pressure on the tires, gloves. I put the short gloves, the long gloves. I put the short and then the under, and then probably shoe covers. Oh no, shoe cover not. It was totally crazy. Everybody was dressing different way. And then during the first 50K, you can see, I saw so many different stuff. Like somebody get crazy for the breakaway. Somebody didn't want to start even. Somebody was there just to stop on the feed zone. Somebody somebody was so happy to start with the rain. It was crazy. It was totally, really an amazing experience. And at the end, I can tell you that on the pavé, I don't know really, because I was in the break, but on the pavé was not the big problem. You know what I mean? Because the big stress and the crazy stuff was on the asphalt, the approaching the sector.
Yeah.
There was crazy.
So did
even in the break?
You got in the early break, did you, at Roubaix?
Yeah. We were 20 riders.
Okay, and that was the one that eventually there was Moscon and the young guy from Lotto. I can't remember his name. They were kind of the people that were left from that early. Luke Rowe was in that break as well, right?
Yeah, we were together. And then I flat tire on the first sector.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the bunch. I weighed the bunch, and then flat again. And then I continued with my pace until the end. I was out of time limit, but I finished, and nothing. But I was there. I just approached the first sector, and already was crazy in the breakaway because we were 20, and we want to take it. The first. Everyone was fighting to be in the first line, but we were 20. We were not under 50. I can't imagine the peloton how much stress was there.
Yeah. Were you surprised who won?
Surprised? No. I was surprised.
Yeah.
For sure, because I didn't expect. Because also it was the first one for him.
Well, it was the first for all three on the podium, right?
Yes. And I write to Colbrelli 2-3 days before, and because I was watching the forecast, and I knew that he is really strong in the rain.
Okay.
And he won the European Championship. Yeah. He was really in shape, but he's the first one. I just sent to him, it's nice weather for you. Try it. And he said no, it's not my race. I don't like it. You can imagine if you like it.
Yeah. Do you think that, do you know Gianni Moscon very well? How do you think he would have won if he hadn't got that puncture and had the wheel problems? Of course. You think
I believe 100% he could have won. Could have won for sure. I believe in him. I believe what he can do, and I saw already him in the same position. Yeah, and for sure he was not giving up. He was focused. He was quiet. Even another things you can see after the puncture and the crash, he was taking the same gap. Mm-hmm. From the guys behind him and from the first group. So he finished fourth, but with the same gap, It
looked like, just from watching it on TV, it looked like the spare bike that they gave him, the tire pressure was not right. Maybe it had too much air in the tires.
No, then I spoke with him.
Okay.
And I knew exactly that it was the same bike. The same pressure, same wheels, same bike.
Wow. Okay.
The only one thing that you can thinking about, and this is for podcasts and for fans and for everybody, is when you change a spare bike so far in the race, the spare bike is strange to say, but it's too clean. You know what I mean? The tire and everything, the rub and stuff is not. It's not so adapted to everything. So the bike that he punched, it was already with some grips. It was scrub a bit and was already more stable on the pavé, and the new bike not. So that's why probably and then also it's really strange feeling when you change a bike like this. When you go out of the bike after so many kilometers on the pavé, I can say that the legs that you feel is shit. Really bad. When you turn out the legs out of the bike to get it out, you feel strange. You feel tight muscle, and then you put. It's strange. It's really something that you can't describe well. But I knew that. Yeah, I have this info for you. That's you can go on for sure.
Yeah, I guess that, that's something that as a fan, you just never appreciate on the TV, that you see a rider take a bike change and the bike is identical, right? It's set up the same, all the measurements are the same, the tire pressure is the same. And we don't appreciate that it can feel different. It's crazy stuff. Do you guys do a lot of equipment testing before Roubaix still? Because I think I read somewhere in the press that, I think some of the cycling media were disappointed now because there isn't really much technical innovation before Roubaix. You go back 10 years, like they'd go to Roubaix and teams would be trying all sorts of different things and lots of new equipment and changes. And nowadays it's maybe you just put some slightly wider tires on. I don't know. Do you see that from your perspective?
Of course. It's changing a lot in the last 10 years. A lot. but I can tell you that the curve of is not proportional. It's like it's grow a lot. I mean, everything from handlebar to the frame, to the material making the frame, to the wheels, and to the clincher or tubular or whatever you use. It's changing so much. I remember my first Roubaix, my hand was completely blooding, you know. But it's also okay. The hand is the same. I don't have many stuff in my. I just changing gloves, but it's not even. I don't use even really soft gloves. I just use the normal gloves with just the leather. I mean normal t-shirt. But I can say I can give you my experience that all the frame, all the bike you use on the cobble is making softer your pedaling, you know.
Yeah.
So it's everything that 10 years ago, everything was going in my hand and making shit on my hands, and you know, a lot of bumping, a lot of stuff was making my hand blooding. But now everything is softer and everything is like going faster. You fly on the cobbles.
Yeah,
it's crazy how better you can pedal and riding on the cobble. Even, I mean, I can say about Specialized frame, but at that time I used Cannondale in Liquigas.
Yeah.
We try also cyclocross brake. We try, now we have a disc. You can imagine how different is braking with the disc or with the rubber, with the traditional brakes. It's crazy how better is disc now. Once upon a time, some years ago with normal traditional brakes was crazy even too. You don't have the same feeling. Now you brake everywhere, every time in the same way. Some years ago with the traditional was not possible. And even the frame, I mean, Specialized, okay, maybe I use Specialized and you feel that I am apart, but it's so nice. The Roubaix bike, we have the small suspension on the handlebar. You can block the suspension. You can open the suspension. We have 28. Somebody used 30 clincher and tubular stuff on the wheel. The wheel are making everything softer. It's carbon. Okay, it's carbonio, but it's not so hard anymore.
Yeah.
It's that's changing a lot.
Do you think that with all of this technical innovation, does it make a race like Roubaix, does it make it more level, right? So the guys who maybe 10 years ago were really cobbled specialists, and, you know, like Boonen or Cancellara, who could really, they could make a difference on a cobbled section, and they could, you know, that was where they could get away. Now, does the equipment mean that more guys are in contention in a race like Roubaix?
But not only Roubaix, I think.
Okay.
I think that everything, all, I mean, high level, the top gamma, the top bike of every frame, every brand are so nice now. It's amazing how they do. And with this brake, with aerodynamic, with the material, how is light bike, and all this stuff making everybody more similar.
Yeah.
And even if you can see I can see this in the breakaway. When you are in the break, speed, the speed of the peloton, when you are making a breakaway and catching the breakaway, you have to push more, you have to go more and more faster. But making faster, you can go faster with less. You can go at the same speed with less
effort,
power, you know?
Yeah.
So that means we have power, we go faster and faster, but there is a limit also there. You can go 19 an hour.
Yeah.
When you go 60, 50, 60 is already, I don't know how much fast you can go.
Yeah.
So if you go, it's different. If you go, maybe it's too technical, but if you go in the breakaway at 16 an hour, if you're going to catch the break, you have to go 18 an hour. But it's impossible. And then the race is over. So sometimes it's also hard. Yeah. Everybody is like more balanced now in the new kit.
So let's talk about your good friend, Peter Sagan. you guys were on liquid gas early in your career. Did when he came along as a young guy, neo pro on liquid gas, did everybody know how good he was, and did everybody think he would go on to do the things that he has?
Nobody knows. No,
really,
because he arrived from zero, completely zero. He arrived from another sport like mountain biking, but he didn't know nothing about diet, about training, about everything about road cycling. But we went training, and we went the first training camp. We were pretty impressed about what he's doing, because I don't know. I remember this episode, like in the first week we were training, and we did a couple of efforts, on the climb, like up and down, torque and stuff. And he did the same with 20 RPM,
like pedal revolutions.
Yes, with less RPM, and also without. In the cardio was the heart was so low.
Yeah.
And we did a couple of sprints. He was always on the top 3. He was the dinner. He was eating everything, like all in the same plates. And he was a talent. We discovered immediately he was a talent, but we didn't know that he was so strong. But after the first race, we say, okay, somebody is gonna making history.
Yeah. And so what do you think the future holds for Peter then? You think he's still got some monuments left to win and some green jerseys left?
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Sanremo is one of goal. The goal is one of the, he missed it actually, no?
Yeah.
It's the one that he liked it, because he loves Italy, and he loves in Milano Sanremo. He would love to win for sure. Even the team, me, Bodnar, we will love to win the race with him. It's special, I guess. And then probably he's always competitive for the green jersey for sure.
Yeah,
he did Ciclamino last year, and he tried again the green jersey, but he had a lot of bad luck this year.
Yeah.
So he's still hungry, He want to do something, because he don't like to leave nothing. You want to try until the end.
Yeah, and you guys have quite a similar attitude towards life and towards professional cycling, right? I don't think you don't take it too seriously. You have good balance. That's why you get on so well, right?
It's not correct to say that we don't take so seriously, because we are so serious. Why so serious is always the slogan of Peter, but we training a lot, we study a lot, we met together, we speaking about racing, we try to do everything. We don't like to be. We don't regret nothing at the end of the race. So if we finish with something bad, we discuss, and we try to be the better next time,
Yeah.
But we have this attitude that sometimes when it's off, stop.
Yeah.
When it's finished, it's finished. Thinking about another one. When he won, is just one. Basta, it's finished. We go another one. We enjoy, we like to celebrate for sure, but then it's not over. We have to go again and again. This approach of pro cycling, this professional stuff is one thing, and then when we are in holiday, when we are off, we like the same stuff. We like to really keep it easier, keep it different, keep it. I don't know, because now we say always this mood, but I don't know how I can play better.
I think it's what you're talking about in pro cycling. I think it applies to amateur cycling as well, right? And I think I've been riding bikes for 30 years, and I see it's changed It's changed so much. And what you're talking about with the, you know, the focus on performance all the time and trying to find every advantage. I think there's a lot of amateur cyclists that could do with like the same attitude that you guys have and just to chill out a little bit sometimes. And so it's like, you know, when you're on, but then you're not on. It's not full gas all of the time. And I think there's a lot of amateurs that they're too obsessed about their power and their Strava and their Zwift. And it's really important to find that joy in riding bikes, right? Which is, I think it's great. It's great when people can see pro cyclists at the top level, just able to do both, to enjoy riding their bike and then to go like, boom, when it's like business time, it's like full gas and you're on and you're trying to win races.
Probably is kind of, the approach of, I started when I was 7 years old. When I was 7 years old, okay, the first 20 years was just fun. Nah, I can say 10 years was fun, but then was really serious. And I grow my 15 to 20, really dreaming cycling, really dreaming the professional part. I was dreaming world championship. But I was 15. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody starting to 40 years old, starting dreaming to be Van der Poel or Sagan. That's not correct. It's not possible. And probably somebody can make some good stuff because it's right to put yourself in something that you like and doing 100% because it's correct. You know, it's nice to be fit and to go on the climb faster than your friend. But you have to also to understand that it's something that you don't have to be angry, you don't have to be stressed. It has to be enjoying, it's happiness. It's not nothing that you have to be, because Van der Poel, if he's not winning the yellow jersey, probably is losing money, respect to somebody. And, you know, he's racing, it's important races, but still it's a fucking cycling race. It's nothing. We don't making a vaccine for COVID, you know. It's
only a bike race.
So people, amateurs, take it easy. Going and enjoying and drink a beer when you finish is more important. If I have to train young people, like 10, 15 years old, I will be in this direction. It's not. You have to be for sure, but it's not about. Be the best cyclist is education. You know, you have to understand that you have to do what you are doing in the best way you can. You have to be the best man and the best. If you want to study as a doctor, you have to be the best as a doctor. You know, you have to study to be focused and go on. If you want to be a cycling, you have to be the best cycling ever. And then, okay, nobody gonna be Leonardo DiCaprio as a doctor. Nobody and not everybody gonna be Peter Sagan. Yeah. But you can be Daniel Oss and you can be near Peter Sagan, help him in the Tour de France, and doing a lot of good stuff and a nice career. You know, everybody has to understand his limits because everybody are thinking that they are champions, that they are Bill Gates and I don't know who, Superman. No, we are different. We have a limit. We have to be the best of himself. I mean,
do you do you have a plan for after you finish racing? Like, do you know how many years you'll continue racing and what you'll do afterwards?
So now I have 2 years more total. We signed 2 years, and we'll see. Maybe during the next year, I'm gonna put my line. If maybe I can do 2 years more or 1 year more, we'll see during the next year, and then I will stop for sure.
Yeah.
So the next step will be to find something to do. No, yet.
You don't know what that is yet. Are you going to just go full time like punk rocker bass player or something else?
I don't know. I have still passion for sport a lot. I really love sport. I don't know how to be connecting. I don't know how to connect sport and traveling. I would love to be part of a nice group of somebody making sport.
Yeah. What about what do you think about the gravel scene? Because I think it was one of the things that we talked to Pete Stettner about, because obviously gravel is really big in the US. He met some resistance with his team when he was on Trek. They just didn't understand why he wanted to go do gravel. Do you think that attitude's changing and people in Europe are starting to understand the gravel scene and how big it can be?
I'm sure 100%.
Yeah.
100%. This is the direction. This is the future. Will be not maybe, I don't know, man. I can't say that it would be not the same as a road bike, but will be a big sector. Yeah. A big harm of cycling for sure.
Yeah. Does it excite you? Do you plan to do some more gravel racing?
Yeah, why not? I will love to try it still. Until then, I would love to try. Probably now in Europe, the gravel is the attitude of graveling is more traveling. Is more making the trip and blah blah.
Tours, yeah,
bike tours and stuff. But probably the next step will be the race.
Yeah,
is already on with people did the same. Did the first gravel race this year.
Did you race that or not?
No, I was not there.
Okay,
but I saw it and I'm happy that was on.
Yeah, I think what I find interesting with gravel is that the races really reflect the places that they are held in, right? So, Belgian Waffle Ride is totally different from, a race in Kansas, which is totally different to in Strada Bianchi, for example. And Strada Bianchi is there because that's the roads in that part of the world, and they make a great race, and it's, each race is very different, and it reflects the different country that it's in.
Of course, you can. That's true. I never thought about that, but it's true.
I mean, Roubaix is like a gravel race, right?
Kind of, yeah, it's true. Yeah, but the road is the road everywhere. The gravel is, you can see a lot of different stuff in different countries. True.
Yeah. All right, look, we'll wrap this up in a minute. Just have you got big plans for next season? What are your big goals?
As I told you before, Sanremo is a big goal.
Yeah.
I would love to be more. No, I would love to do a really nice race. Peter is so mentally there, and I would love to race again. And my 10th Tour de France. If I will race, the next one will be the 10th. So it's a really big goal.
Yeah.
And I would love to help Total to grow as a team, and to maybe they would love to be World Tour in the next years, not the next one, but then the future, next 2 years. So I would love to making enough points to grow with them.
What about do you look at the calendar and maybe put a circle around a race like that's a race that maybe I can win? Like, okay, it's great to help Peter Sagan win Milan San Remo, but what about Daniel Oss, like putting his hands in the air?
Nah, I don't like anymore to plan like this. I like to live on the day.
Yeah. And if there was one race that you could win, which one would it be?
I don't know. Stage at the Tour could be enough. Yeah, could be enough. It's a big dream. That's true. And a really nice Just Ride.
Yeah.
I look forward to playing one.
Good. That's a good balance, isn't it? Well, look, hopefully you get some luck in the breakaway one day in the Tour.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing where your next Just Ride goes.
Yes. Okay.
Cool. Well, look,
I will let you know.
Yeah, appreciate you making the time for this before you go on holiday. Have a great break, and good luck next season.
Thank you, man. Have a nice.
All right. Thanks, Daniel.
Have a nice podcast. Thank you.
So that's it for this special Movember edition of the Blackdog Cast. Remember to check in the show notes below for the link to buy our limited edition Sportful jersey this month, as all proceeds go directly to Movember and the work they're doing around men's mental health.